Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 5th day of Christmas. Headed out to the barn, kind of looking over to the west side, no, east side of our property, because when I came out the door I heard this creaking sound. It was a little strange, but don't see anything out there. So, 5th day of Christmas. A little foggy moon. I assume it's just past fall, or maybe it is fall. I didn't sleep that well last night, so could be full moon. Could be all the sugar and caffeine I've consumed lately. Here we are at the creek. I think I forgot to mention my name is Karina, and I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest. It is December 29th. There's the other side of the creek and the house. There's the barn. So, I know the last couple days I have lamented the amount of sugar I've eaten. It looks like the horses are waiting for me. I see their eyeballs right there. So yeah, you can see O, because he's gray. I want to know where the heck their breakfast is. Anyway, so this rough night of not as quality sleep as I would like is a good indication that I need to mend my ways in terms of sugar, caffeine, maybe getting a little exercise. I don't have to work today until about 2:15, so maybe I will use that time wisely. Well, I'm at the barn, so I'm going to get to feeding. I don't know if you can hear that. That's a great horned owl right before the car honked. I'm not sure if you could hear that too. So great horned owl, frogs. It's quite warm. Feels like it's about 50 degrees. It is probably 7 a.m. now. So even though the sunrise time is about 8, I can tell it's just starting to get light. We have very long dawn and twilight time here in the Pacific Northwest, so it's quite lovely. I just wanted to share the wildlife with you as I walk back up to the house. And I just heard it. I don't know if it'll do it again. Well, it did it again, of course, as soon as I turned in the other direction. But it's a lovely sound. There's probably, I think they nest here in the winter, so we start hearing them around December. And then we start hearing and seeing barred owls. Spring and summer, I think. That's when we start seeing them. So stay tuned for that. I'm back up at the house, so I'll see you for the knitting portion. Welcome to the knitting portion of my podcast. My name is Karina, which I mentioned before, and I live in the Pacific Northwest with my partner, our 2 kitties, and my 2 horses. You would have seen the footage this morning of me walking out to the barn to feed the horses. I mentioned it's very warm. I looked outside just recently and it is 60 degrees for this December 29th, the 5th day of Christmas. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for following me. I really appreciate you. If you're returning, you know that I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas. I did Vlogmas, which is basically Advent, and then started the 12 days of Christmas on Christmas Day. Because it is 60 degrees, the only knitted thing I have on is my socks. I'm wearing the Nutcracker socks that I finished before Christmas Eve. The Nutcracker socks are a pattern that the Kay Jones developed for her Bakery Bears patrons, and I am one of those. It was super fun. Knit along. Encourage you to check out their channel if you haven't. She will be doing Valenvent here beginning of February, and that is a mystery knit along as well. So looking forward to that. If you are also a returning viewer, you will know that I have been working on the Arne Carlos stocking knit along. I am getting really close. So I am on, I don't know, like day 18 maybe. Get the yarn out of the way so you can see it. So I basically have about 24 rows left of this. This will be trees, of this tree section, and then 10 rounds of ribbing. And that will be the stocking. So I should have that done maybe by the end of the weekend. We'll see. I mean, I knit on it quite a while this morning before I went out and fed the horses, and then I kind of want to do other things. Speaking of other things, I did take Odin for a walk, and I will just show a picture of us after we returned. And I did work with Bragi on the cone game. The cone game is a stationary game where I ask him to target, in this case, a traffic cone and stay there. So the idea is that he will, for having him load into the trailer and stay in the trailer, we will use, my trainer and I will use that cone as part of the strategy to communicate with him to stay in the trailer until it's time to go. So that's one thing we're working on. What else am I working on? I am working on this Advent shawl, which actually I found out the knit along ends on January 31st. So I have lots of time. The so many of these minis are from an Advent bouquet I got from Polka Dot Creek. Am I showing you the right side? I am showing you the right side. So this one here is definitely a Polka Dot Creek. This variegated and these variegated are from a row 1 mini set. I decided to use, so there's lots of colors in this Polka Dot Creek Advent bouquet. Many I'm not sure I want in this shawl, so I'm kind of cherry picking out the colors and picking out basically the pinks and the pale colors. So that is that. I'm not sure, I have to work in about another hour or two. One thing I have not worked on is the winter scarf that has all the winter scene motifs in color work. So I may work on that for a while. I don't have a lot to say beyond what I have already said. It's quite a gray day. If it was 20 degrees cooler, which is what I consider average around here, so about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, it would undoubtedly be raining, but it's just so warm that it is not raining perhaps yet. I think the weather's supposed to cool off next week. I hope so, and get to more our average temperatures, because it's weird hearing frogs, and I really don't want to see any slugs this time of year. That is all I have to talk about today. So happy 5th day of Christmas, and I'll see you tomorrow for the 6th day of Christmas.